I didn't really expect Hallmark to get a Camino movie right, but it kind of did. There were three things in Journey to You that I think captured the real heart of pilgrimage better than I ever expected, and I wanted to share that with you. So the good news is when I started to watch the Hallmark movie Journey to You, I definitely was in the mindset that this was a Hallmark movie set on the Camino. So I did not have the expectation that this was going to get super deep and philosophical about what the Camino is. But I was hoping that it would give some taste of how important and special the Camino is to people. And I think that it did do that. And I hope that it has sparked some curiosity in you. So here are the three things that I think they did pretty well. The first is the sort of messy, complicated reasons or unclear reasons why people choose to walk the Camino. You know, it's a religious pilgrimage to a site in Spain, and certainly the character Monica, she's encouraged to walk by her mother, who had done it for sort of spiritual reasons, religious reasons, had met her father, the husband, on the Camino. So it's very much tied in with family reasons to walk. Luis and his father and his son, like they have sort of family and religious reasons to walk as well. But people also walk it for a challenge to see if they can do it, right? It is an accomplishment to walk the Camino. Some people walk it to sort of process events in their lives. Sometimes that's grief. Sometimes they are in a moment of discernment in their lives. They're looking for direction. So everyone who walks kind of has something that they're seeking, no matter how clear or unclear that thing might be. But I do think all of the characters in Journey to You have sort of realistic reasons for wanting to walk the Camino, and I thought that they portrayed that well. That there was not one reason that anyone walked, and it also that there's no one right reason to walk the Camino. The second thing I thought they got right, which kind of excites me that they got right, is what I'm going to call Camino magic. So I know there's the whole series on Hallmark about God winks, and I think Camino Magic is a little bit like that. It is the sort of ways in which we can recognize and receive signs that this is a special place or experience. In the movie, the example I'm specifically thinking of is when Monica is writing in her journal and finds the picture of her parents, and it happens to be in the same place that she's sitting there writing her journal, right? So there's this wonderful connection to the past that happens. I do think that if you're watching that movie and you've never been on the Camino, that piece of it can seem a little far-fetched, but it actually is really real. That's one of the most realistic things they did, is that sort of Camino miracles happen regularly. Those Camino magic moments happen even after you've walked. So I walked in 2023 and I lost my driver's license, but I got my driver's license sent back to me, and it arrived in 2025 on the day that was the 5-year anniversary of my mom's death. And the Camino I walked in 2023, I was walking in her honor. So there was this sort of moment of, yeah, these are not coincidental things. So kudos to Hallmark for getting that right. That those experiences just seem to happen more naturally or more commonly on the Camino. And I think it might have to do with the fact that the Camino helps us just be more aware of what's going on. We're paying more attention. We've slowed down. We have the time to see those connections and those little Camino miracles that happen along the way. So again, kudos to Hallmark for having that included in the movie. And then the third thing I think Hallmark really got right was the the ultimate lesson that Monica learns in the end. So aside from the happy ending, everything wrapped up with the bow in terms of the romance and the families and how their families have actually always been intertwined and they just didn't know it. Sorry, spoilers. But her recognition at the end when she is walking by herself to Finisterre, and she talks about the learning the powerful lesson of surrendering, right? And so I do think that a lot of the Camino is about learning to surrender control, because it is so different from what we do in our daily lives. And we all really want to control our daily lives, right? And that's where a lot of our frustrations can come. And the Camino sort of strips that away and makes you deal with or figure out how you deal with or see how you don't deal with not being in control of things. What I also appreciated was that the lesson is that it's powerful to surrender control with trust and faith, and that surrender actually leads to joy, right? It leads to contentment, to satisfaction. It does not lead to more fear, right? Or being out of control or being abandoned. It actually, that that relief and release of control is what brings us lasting happiness and joy. So, kudos to Hallmark for making a movie that I hope gets more people interested in walking the Camino. I also love to talk to people about the Camino because I think that it is one of the best things people can do. It is certainly the best thing that I have ever done. And so I am actually grateful that Hallmark has brought more attention to the reality and gifts of what the Camino can be. If you'd like to know about some of the things I think that Hallmark got wrong about the Camino, you can watch my full review of the movie Journey to You in this video. It's a little bit longer, but more detailed about my reactions. I took 3 pages of notes while watching this movie because I really wanted to reflect on it. So that's there for you. Please like and subscribe. I would love to talk with you more about the Camino and how it can impact our lives and just make us more joyful. If you're wondering what your Camino might look like, what your journey could reveal about you, I made a free quiz to help you find your Camino temperament. It's short, fun, and gives you insight into your natural strengths and how you walk through life. Take the quiz, linked in the description below, and discover what kind of pilgrim you are. And until next time, remember, wherever you are in your journey, you are not behind and you are not alone. I'm walking right there next to you. And wherever you are, I wish you a buen camino and hope to see you on the way.